Hey guys, Tom here with Great Lakes Overland. In this video, you are going to be learning how to build the new coastal off-road bumper. It's part of their extreme clearance line. Just came out before Easter and I love it. So yeah, this bumper, you cut off the stock hitch, you cut off some of the body down here, and yeah, I mean you gain some good ground. They say about 5 to 6 inches, I believe, is what you kind of gain for clearance. Yeah, this bumper weighs, I believe it weighs about 130, maybe a little more. It's nothing too crazy. It's definitely a two-man operation if you're carrying it around. But yeah, you take off about 80 pounds, 70 to 80 pounds, I think they say, from cutting and stuff. And then you add on an extra, 50 pounds, 40 pounds. So yeah. So here it is. So if you want to learn how to build it, what you're getting yourself into, stay tuned for this video. And another thing, it does come with the tire carrier, or you have the option to get one. I'm buying on a budget, so I didn't have $2,000 for a bumper, or for the bumper and the tire carrier. So probably this week I'm gonna order the tire carrier, and then in about 2 weeks we should get it. And then that'll take an hour or two to put on. And I'll do a video on that. And then I will also do a review on, or review feedback on the bumper and how's it doing and whatnot. So yeah, I love it. I think it's badass. Probably the first one in Michigan, to be honest. So that's pretty cool. I'm really stoked to get that tire carrier. But without further ado, let's get you guys learning on how to build this. All right, cool, stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is remove my spare tire. So all you have to do is get the parts that come out of your jack stuff. If you were to have a flat tire, it comes out of your little jack pouch. And then you stick this in here and it'll connect, and then you just twist it and eventually this thing will fall. So now that the spare tire is off, the next thing we need to do is get the plastic bumper off. So the plastic one is secured by multiple bolts underneath. So we're going to take a minute here and get those all out real quick. So once you get all the ones underneath, you want to come up here and get these ones out from the hatch. Okay, so once all these are removed, you want to pry this little thing up. You don't want to take these bolts out, you just want to pry that little plastic piece up. Okay, now that's okay, so now that those bolts are all off, the instructions are saying it's just a pull off now. The bumper should just pull right off. I'm not sure if they forgot about these ones or if that's for something else. So we'll see if it'll pull off. If not, we'll come out and remove those. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so like I said, these got to come out, so I think they might have missed that, unless I missed it. It's all good though. So now that those are out, it should come off clean. It does take a little bit of force, so don't be too afraid. Okay. And like that, we are well on our way. So I got a little thing I gotta pop off here. Okay. Let me see, I got that side, cool. Boom. Okay, so next, you're gonna wanna take a 17, okay, so next you're gonna wanna take a 17 millimeter. Whew. Holy shit. Okay. Might have to get the impact gun for this one. Whew. Let's see here. These things are on here. Okay. Let me grab the impact gun, hang on. Okay, so we got the recovery hook off. Next, we want to work on this bad boy, the tow hitch receiver. So let's see here. So they say take a 12 millimeter. That's definitely not a 12. That's a 10. Okay, we got a 12 now. Okay, so that's off now. Okay, so once you get the trail hitch off, they say take a 10 mil. Ratchet sounds broken. Take a 10 millimeter and we're going to remove the side panels where the bumper clicked in. And that's a 12. Okay, so let's get those off. So once you get all the bolts out, once the bolts are out, just go ahead and pry this off and then repeat the process for the other side. Okay, so once both of those are off each side, the next thing you want to do is remove this, it says. So I'm not sure how this is in there yet. I think it's just clipped in there. So let me see if we can get those off. Okay, so that black piece is connected underneath the tail light housing. So to get to that, we're gonna have to go through here, that little spot right there, which is gonna be a pain for me because I got my storage right here. So let me work on that and see what we got. Okay, so this is the little spot you wanna get into, this little pry. So I'm gonna take a knife here and see if I can pry it open. Like I said, for me, this might be a little tougher just because this thing's in my way. I'm not too worried about the inside of the panel if it gets a little scratched. It's been abused already a little bit. And it comes out, comes out pretty easy. And we're gonna have to do this for both sides. So once that's off, we can see the inside. Before I do anything in there, I'm gonna get the other side off. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Once you get that little panel off on both of them, let me see if you can see it. There's 2 bolts. These 2 bolts, you gotta take off on both sides. That way you can get to the little clip or whatnot that holds this in. So not enough room for the camera, for me, and the light. So let me do this off screen and let's see what's happening. All right, so once you get those out, just slide this out and that little thing will fall. So you just gotta slide a couple inches and then you can put it back. Okay, so once you get both of these little black things off the bottom, you can go ahead and put these back on, and you don't have to mess with any of the wiring or anything. You just had to remove them a little bit so you can get those out. So let me put these back together, get them tightened up, and then John just got here. I think the next step is we're gonna start cutting some stuff. So that'll be exciting. But yeah, let me get those back on and we'll see what's next. All right guys, so when you get these black clips off, be careful not to destroy the white clips that hold it in. I did, they broke off on accident, so we're gonna fill that with some caulk so there's no water that gets in there. But yeah, with that, let's move on to next. So underneath the hatch, it's showing a bracket. I don't have that bracket, but it's saying to do a 180 on it and put it back underneath the truck. But like I said, I don't have that, so not exactly sure what that is, so it's all right. So let's move on to the next stuff. Okay, so once you get that bracket spun around, if you have it, like I said, I don't. That is the final, like after you do that, we start cutting. We're gonna start cutting right here actually. So make sure we get the instructions read, but you're supposed to cut right along that line. A lot of pressure. I'm just kidding, but, and then, yeah, so yeah, let me get some of this cleaned off. Let's get these marked out, double check them, triple check them, and then we start cutting, and it's exciting, because then after we start cutting, then we start getting ready to throw all these bad boys on. So, I'm stoked. All right, before we start cutting the frame, or the body, we need to remove the cabin reliefs. Be careful with these, they pry off easy, but be careful. We're gonna reinstall these later. So let's get that. So we got these off on both sides. We're gonna mark these for cutting and then start cutting. They got 3 pictures, but they said you run along the top of the bump. So we're getting marked out and show you guys. Okay, so we got the first markings for the sides. To us, this is the biggest thing. The frame is not going to be too crazy, but we got these marked up. John's going to cut them. So the first cut's going to be right here, and then we're either relief cut and get inside or pull it back. So we got this marked on both sides, and we are ready for the first cutting. So we got first part cut, and the instructions they say to peel this down, that way you can mark in there and get the cut. So they say peel it or relieve cut, whatever you need to do. So we're gonna get in there and get that mark and get that cut. see here. All right, guys, so John got this cut. So John got it cut. So like the instructions said, there's that top little bump. You follow that all the way around. Follow it all the way around, even on the inside. And then when you get to the body mount, you don't cut all the way straight. If you cut all the way straight, you're gonna cut through, and that's when the instructions strictly say not to do. So on both sides, you're gonna cut the top of that bump. You follow it all the way around. And then when you get towards the body mount, you need to jot down. Otherwise, you're gonna mess it up.
There we go. That was like pretty damn square. I'm surprised how good that cut.
All right, so build update. Got the frame cut off. Everything is cut now. So we're gonna have to trim some of this stuff. Same with the exhaust over there. The exhaust we did chop off. Still need to chop off the spare tire chain. But yeah, the exhaust got chopped. We gotta chop this and chop that. And then, yeah, we're almost ready to start building. So yeah. All right, so we got the base plates on both sides. We got the holes drilled. We're gonna start building it. And yeah. Okay guys, so Saturday now. I just kind of wanted to take a second, show you guys what we did in case we're moving a little too fast for some people or you got questions. So, yeah, so yesterday we just got like the supports on for the bumper. That's all we did. We just bolted them up so that we can start tacking the bumper together. And then we just set this on top of here and we tacked the hitching spot. We got different stuff going on today. John's doing some stuff and I'm doing some stuff. So we're probably not gonna be working on it today. If we do, it'll be later in the evening. So I just wanted to show you guys what we did in case some people have questions. This is a big step. Cutting the body is a big step. And we, you know, in the video, it'll be a couple seconds, a couple minutes. But in reality, we took a lot of time in looking and checking where these cuts were going because you don't want to mess up the body mount back here. And the book restates that a lot. So the top notch that is right below this, you cut straight across on as best you can, and then you follow that all the way around until you get to the body mount, and then you jot down and away from that. Like I said, we were on it for a while, just making sure the cut was good. And once we got the cut good, the other side went pretty easy. So, yeah. And then we had to cut the exhaust off already because it was going to be in the way. Because the exhaust hangs here, and you got to cut the bolts for the body. You got to cut that so that this plate can sit here. So yeah. So that's as far as we're at right now. All right, guys. So it's Saturday night. We're going to try to do a little bit of work on building the bumper. We got the base plates still up here. Right now, John's doing the nut plates. And then once we get those on, we'll get the other bolts on. And we will be ready to start building the rest of it. So we're gonna see how much we get done tonight. And yeah, stay tuned. Okay guys, so right now we are working on it's hot because we were just welding the inside of the frame, because there's a plate that goes right here. And then let me see if I can find it right here on the ground. Oh, here. So a plate that goes on the inside, and then a plate that goes right here, and they gotta align perfectly, or as best as you can get them, so that it's clean, you know. So we're just taking our time right now, trying to get the best lineup. This part's gonna take a little bit, but once we get that, we should be rolling. All right, so we got the holes lined up for this one on the passenger side. Gonna repeat on driver. All right, so build update. We got these the panels in that cover the frame that we cut, and then we put these brackets in as well as these flat panels. And then we've had this obviously, and then we just repeated it on this side. And the big thing here again is you just want to make sure the bolts line up with the plate on the inside of the frame. So now that we got that, we're going to move on to what's next.
You're supposed to be able to weld all this after it's on tap, right?
Yeah, okay. I was just making sure that. Yeah, once it's
Like I got enough room to get in here.
We're supposed to unbolt it. All right, guys, so on both sides we have the underneath the tail light housing set up. In here are going to be some lights. These all have slots that they insert to, and they're all just tacked together right now. And then they also tack down here, and that's on both sides right now. So it's looking pretty good right now, and we're going to push on. Eyeballs.
Damn, I didn't see that.
We've been living since so long, all the feels are gone. Fella stopped me on the street last night, said everything's alright. Roller coaster, get through the day alright. It seems your meal ticket is gone, but life goes on. engine on high heat in the middle of the street. Roller coaster, take me to a better time. Let's go. Oh, sing your high line with the roller coaster of life. It's time to all choose your timeline on the roller coaster of life.
Alrighty guys, so last time you saw it, should have been just these standing here. Now we have the top, we have the beginnings of the sides. Put this back in here. So here, you gotta do your best to work with the gaps while making sure it all still lines up here. A little bit of a bigger gap here, and then it comes into about half. So that's the same on both. And then we also added the underneath part to hold that. I'll show you the other side here. So bigger gap here, but that'll be painted, so it's not a big deal. It comes down to about your ½ inch, so a little more at the end. We got that there too. So we got a late night in, but got a lot done. So yeah, we'll be back in the morning to finish it. All right, we'll catch you in the morning. All right guys, so welcome back. Sunday morning. We don't have a whole lot of pieces left on the table over here. A lot of them are just gussets and whatnot to strengthen it. Here's what we got last night, and we're gonna push on now and hopefully get it knocked out today. Cool. All right, guys, so we got pretty much everything on. John's gonna start welding it from the underneath, get some of that, and then we're gonna take it off. The only stuff we really have left is a couple gussets and the tow recovery hooks, and we're gonna put that on when we take it off. But other than that, yeah, we're gonna do some cool B-roll of him getting it put together. All right, guys, so we got the bumper off. John got some of it welded. So now we're gonna weld the plates covering the frame. And the big thing that we're gonna be doing now is the body panel that we cut. We gotta put the plate underneath it. We're gonna have that tack, and we're gonna get that tacked and welded. And then after it's welded, we're gonna go back through with some caulk, and we're gonna weather seal it. To make sure no water gets in here. So that's the plan right now. I'm gonna be doing that as he's welding the body or the bumper together. But that's it. These are the final steps, obviously, but yeah, it's almost done. There's John. All right, guys, so John has got these tacked up here. For the cabin relief, we still have to put that in there. As he's doing the tacking on the other side, it's rough, he says, but it's gonna do. I'm gonna go around and seam seal this once this cools. They said to put some tape on these little holes. I just went ahead and put some seam sealer in them as well. And then I'm also taping off these because I'm gonna go along and put some primer on that. It's gonna be a black top primer, so it's gonna match the bumper. Yeah, so that's what we're working on right now. And then we're gonna move on to finish welding the bumper and then slapping it on.
Gotta paint it.
But yeah, we gotta paint it, or we gotta weld it, grind it down, smooth it, and then paint it. So yeah, John's taking a break. But yeah, we're hoping to have this done today, and I think we're on track. So yeah. All right, guys. So I just got done seam sealing this side. Let me get the light up here. It's a mess. Just this stuff is just sticky. But if I stick the light underneath, this is how I was just checking it, you know, no lights coming up. So that's how I know that that's good. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to go get some more of this, grab some shakes, a couple snacks. He's getting the other side finished up. I'm gonna start priming the back and whatnot. But yeah, I just want to show you guys that. It's a mess, but it's gonna be hidden. So yeah. Alright guys, welcome back. So we got a little bit of a build update, got a little bit of blackface going on, that's okay. So right now we got 99% welded, just the hooks are kind of left, and right now we're grinding right now, just making it shiny and smooth, and then we're gonna throw it on and then paint it, or paint it and then throw it on, one of them. But yeah, no, right now this is what it looks like. I'm just out here doing some grinding. John's inside smacking some food. Dude's starving. That's all right though. But yeah, so tonight we're gonna hopefully have it done. And then this video will go up within a day or two, hopefully. But yeah, this is what we got so far. It's coming out pretty smooth. Yeah, I'm excited. So, yeah, so just next time you see it, it'll probably be on the truck, painted, something. right, guys. So the build is done. Let me know if you guys got any questions. Just feel free to leave a comment or whatnot. And then, yeah, hopefully in a couple weeks, we'll be back to put on the tire carrier. So, yeah. I like the bumper, so let me know what you guys' thoughts are, if you're going to pick one up or whatnot. But, yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.